Okay. All right. We're going to kick off. Let's go. No worrying about those who have not made it in yet. They can join us or they can watch the replay because this will be available for all Social Grenade. I know on here that this says Andy Elliott training series, and this is I do training for Andy Elliott's dealers. Just so that you guys know, I also every once a month I teach social media to all his dealers. So I decided to share this one with you guys first before I roll it out to them. And this is Savage Sequencing, and it is talking about your 5-day inbound funnel. And what I want to talk about here is that, and I'm not going to read this slide deck to you, but social isn't about random posts. It's about a sequence and a flow and the intent that you want with that. Now, if any of you have followed any of my training from before, you know that you can set up your posts to deliver to a certain group of people. We call them your tribe or the tribe that you're creating, and that you walk them down the funnel of what you want them to do. Most of you are posting, but you're not positioning. And today we're going to fix that. We're building a 5-day funnel that turns content into conversations and conversations into commissions. It's probably the most important part of why you post on social. It's not just so that you can have an awareness somewhere. It is so that you can 100% learn how to position your post to be like a sales funnel. So let me be clear about one thing. If your last 5 posts didn't bring you a buyer, your content is broke. So that seems really bold, but like I told you in the beginning, I train for Andy Elliott, so I train really bold whenever I talk about stuff to his team. And so people are watching, they're not just responding, and you need to figure out why. If they're just watching your content and not responding, it's because there probably wasn't a call to action. There was no flow for them. It wasn't speaking to them. There was no purpose, no punch. And you're like, oh, I don't know how to do all of that. That seems like a whole other part-time job. And I'm going to show you how to build heat over 5 days so that your CTA. So we want to make sure that your call to action lands like a punch on day 5, right? So you have walked them down a path to get them to take action and to buy a vehicle from you. Click through here. Let me approve this first. There we go. Okay, so the Savage Funnel mindset. So every post solves a pain, every video builds trust, and every CTA opens a conversation. So we're not just showing up anymore now. We are strategic predators on the feed. We are hunters. And you think going viral gets leads, and it doesn't. Strategy is what gets you sales. So sequencing and momentum and trust is what walks people down that funnel right there. And you got to learn how to do that. From now on, every post that you do is going to build on a story. So every step is a step in your funnel. So if you decide this week, and I know Peyton has been part of my training before, Phil has before too, we're going to talk about this week, the next 5 days, you're going to set an intention of a tribe or a cohort or a group of people that you're going to want to target and that you're going to want to draw into your sales funnel. And whether that be single moms, whether that be, guys that work in construction, if you're a big truck lot, we need to think about what you want to pull in. If you're wanting to pull in families that may have to accommodate several car seats, like a minivan or a third row SUV, like you've got to be talking to the pain first before you start posting, right? So start talking to this pain. So one of the things that we want to talk about right here is that you're going to pick one buyer avatar. So either like a first-time buyer, a single mom, credit rebuilding buyer, a truck addict. You're going to find one and said, everybody isn't your customer right now. Let's pick one that you want to build over this next 5 days. Drop them in the chat right now. If one of these 4 was going to be your avatar, drop in the chat what it is, which one you're going to go after this week. I'm going to pull that up real quick so I can see it too. Lacey, read them out to me.
Credit rebuilding, credit.
It's a strong pain point for sure. So let's just go with that avatar and we'll think about that one right there. So generic content equals generic results. So stop trying to speak to everyone, speak directly to one person. So let's say if you could get your head wrapped around it, that you had a friend that had credit challenges and you really couldn't talk to them on the phone. You could only just send them stuff that would kind of speak to them and tell them how to stop this problem and how to rebuild their credit. And so what would those conversations be if you were going to send your friend, let's say in a text message, you were going to send them a meme or an image or some advice on how to solve their credit problems and how they could rebuild and become a buyer. Think about the things that you would send them. So remember, when you're picking your avatar, you have to know their pain and you have to speak their language. So don't be speaking all hoity-toity car buying language. You have to speak to them on the language that they understand, right? They need to understand what are they looking for payment wise. Do they understand that their payments may be a little bit higher? Do they understand that this may not be the perfect answer for them right now? That they're going to get into a rebuilding credit situation and then be able to refinance that loan later or buy at a lower rate later. You have to speak to them on that. So let's look at this blueprint real quick. So let's say that, and we will address the others here real quick, but since we have a couple that are on the credit, so the pain is that my credit is bad. I don't think anybody will approve me. I mean, think about all of the things. If you have sold to bad credit people before, you understand the pain that they feel and the conversations you have with them ahead of time. I don't think anybody will approve me. I don't have a down payment. I don't have a trade-in, all of the things that are their story, right? So you have to call out the issue. It has to be, I know you think your credit is not good enough to buy a vehicle. That can be a post. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? I know your credit's not good enough to buy, I know you think your credit is not good enough to buy a vehicle, but let's talk. And that could be something that you create, like you could literally make that just a text post with the colored background. You know how whenever you go into Facebook and you just tap it long and you change your color to red or blue or whatever, those will pop out and they're just text and they'll do really good. I was traveling yesterday and I was studying this sequencing, right? And so when you say that, I know that you think your credit's not good enough to buy a car right now. I have some ideas down below. Do the little fingers down, right? The little emoji fingers down. And then you could pop 5 tips down below and I'll show you an example of this. So it'd be something like this. My faceless YouTube channel just crossed 11,000 subscribers, blah, 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 blah. And AI did everything. Here's how. So this could literally say, I know you think that your credit is not good enough to buy a car, but I have 4 tips down below that will show you how you can. And then if you look right here, when you open this up, he does each one of them in a different comment. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And then he'll have a call to action in his 5th one. So if you want to monetize, don't just focus, blah, blah, blah. And then he may have something right here that says, just message me and I'll be glad to help you out. Right. And so these are something that will literally walk people down a funnel for you right off the bat. And if you could come up with 5 tips as to how you could help them buy a car today, buy a car next week. And that may be, can you sell something for $500 around your house and have at least a $500 down payment? Because I have lenders that will work with you if you have a $500 down payment. So think about the 4 to 5 tips that you could put in here that would help them on the car buying process, and then make a post just like this. And now you are pulling into your audience, you're pulling in this audience of credit challenge buyers that are literally first of all, Facebook is going to push this out to more people because you've just commented 5 times on your own post, right? And so Facebook is going to go, oh, this post is getting some good comments. Let's push it out to more people. Second of all, you're going to have to go into every comment that you posted and see what they commented down below there. So don't forget to go back in there and reply back to all of those. But this is a really good tip to use to start building that credit challenged. The same post could work just for that too. And so it may say something like, I'm just trying to get creative here for just a minute, like what would the pain that we're solving right now? And it would be like, do you struggle getting your car seats in and out of your current vehicle? I've got 5 vehicle styles below that make it really easy for getting your kids in and out of the car. And then you may just go down comment 1. Let's see, we'll just go to the Kia store because I know Phil's sitting here right now and Peyton's sitting here right now. And we can go in there and go, the Kia Carnival. Kia Carnival is so easy to get in and out of, blah, blah, blah. Here's some things about the Kia Carnival that I love. And you can even go over some, like Peyton, if you guys have some pre-owned stuff right there, that is an easy access 3rd row SUV. I've seen really good luck with the Dodge Journey, blah, 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 right? Whatever it is. And then give them some options down there below right now. And then you may even ask the question on your 4th one, if you only put 3 in there on your 4th one, tell me some vehicles that you guys are really seeing success with as well for being ease of loading your family in and out of the vehicle. Right? If you're using a strategy whenever you are posting now, you'll be thinking about this all week long. So then as we look at this, you're going to be thinking about not just the pain. So the pain is your first day. And so as we talk about day 1, the pain will be the first post that you make in the 5 days. Then day 2 will be the story. So now you've got these people sucked into your universe, right? And the story will be, Phil, who did you sell last month that didn't think they could buy a car? What was the lowest credit score that you sold last month? Tell me. 400, 425. So Phil sold a 425 last month. So day 2 for Phil is going to be the same black screen, the same text, and not a picture of anybody. It's going to tell the story. Last month, I got a family with a 425 credit score approved and driving a nicer, newer vehicle. See how I did it below. And so then below would be, the things that you did. And you may tell more of their story in comment 1, comment 2, comment 3, comment 4. Does that make sense? And so it would be, they came to me with one repo and their car had just crapped out on them and they were 100% sure that we couldn't help them. That's comment 1. Comment 2 was, I went to work finding the perfect vehicle for them, for their family. They needed a third row SUV or they needed an economy car, whatever they needed. And I found 3 that I thought I could get the bank to work on with them. And then comment number 3 will be, I talked to my finance manager. I explained to him, what all was going on, how we needed to get this structured for them to fit their budget and their needs, what their issues were. He had a suggestion of 2 lenders that he thought would work with them. And then, just walk through the story, but make 4 to 5 comments down below of walking through the story of how that happened without mentioning their names, without revealing who they are. That's the story of number 1, day 1 was the pain. Number 2 is the story of how you got it done. So you're building trust. Okay. Day 3 is the tip. It's build authority, right? So the top 3 credit hacks for 2025. And so whether that is, and you may have to chat GPT these or Google these or whatever they are. And you may put into chat GPT, what are the top 3 credit hacks if my client has a 425 and needs to get their score up higher or want to buy a car? What are those things? And then that's going to be your tip. And do it the same way. Do it the same way with the same black background, white text. And then, so the black background will be, my tip for rebuilding your credit in 3 easy steps. And then the fingers down again, right? And then you're going to go 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Remember, you've got to stick with these posts. If people comment, you have got to reply back to them. If they are getting personal, just take them into Messenger and go, hey, I'm going to message you. Is that okay? Because they don't want to have to be discussing their personal credit issues right in front of God and everybody. Okay, so then day 4 is when you're going to show them the photo, right? So here's going to be the proof, and you're going to grab one of your vehicles that you sold the month before, and it may be one that was credit challenged, and they're okay with you saying that. And it says, didn't think she would get approved, driving the car she wanted. Okay, so now we're showing them the proof. You've had the pain, you've had the story, you've had the tip, and now you got the proof that you did it. Okay. Day 5 is your call to action. And it's like, it has to be something really strong. Like you have to believe that I can help you. And it may even be a video. It may be a video of you somewhere quiet. I think about like at church, whenever they're calling you down to the altar and they get all quiet and they get all personal with you and they are on that tonality with them is what gets you drawn in. And I think about not walking around the lot, not, hey, this is Phil and I'm here at Rubber Kia. I'm doing blah, 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 blah. I would get somewhere, I would probably go down to the BDC somewhere, get into an office somewhere and go, I just want to be real with you guys today. I promise there's nobody in town that's going to work harder to get you approved. And I've done it time and time and time again. If you are credit challenged, if you think nobody can help you, I'm your guy. DM me, yes, if you want these results too. You've seen what I can do. And then that's your call to action on day 5. Does that not seem strong? This is how you use social media, folks. Okay, so you're going to choose a buyer type. You're going to build a 5-day sequence, pain, story, tip, proof, call to action, 10 minutes on the clock. So you guys want to map out what those posts are, like literally see if you can really quick write out what your pain is, what your story is going to be, what the tip will be, what your proof will be, and what your CTA will do. So write it out right now, guys. Okay, you guys got a good idea of what you're getting ready to start? Okay, so Phil, you want me to look at your last 5 posts? Yeah? Okay. I'm going there.
Chris says, you know that feeling when the whole family piles into the car for a tip and someone's knees are crammed and the car seat barely fits and you're praying the AC keeps up? Yeah, that's the moment you realize it's time for something safer, roomier, and more comfortable.
Oh, I love that pain. That's a good one. All right, let me go to.
As a household where I'm the shortest person, I too feel that pain.
You don't ever get crammed in the back seat.
No, but the kids do, and their legs are longer than mine.
They are. They are. Okay, let's go to Philip Horn. Let's look at your last 5 posts, sir. Oh, look at that family. Okay, so what's one smart financial habit that you wish you started sooner? Nice. And these, I can tell these right, are social grenade posts. Okay, so we've got a social grenade post here and an engagement post right here. These are all good. Let's see who he's following around today. See, I missed the rain yesterday because I was in Michigan. I like this back to school giveaway that they're doing right here.
Having a good time. I'm going to turn this around.
Woo, look at that nasty water.
Yeah, this is epic.
I love that. Okay. So now do you think that we will have a strategy, and these are all good. You need these in here too, but you got to be sucking in those people right there. So don't stop doing this. Do this in addition to that, right? So we're going to build your tribe can be coming in at the same time while you're still feeding the machine. So don't be worried about that whatsoever. One of the things too that I see that you were like, here's the dealership, and I think you're like the We Train every day. These are good. You're doing a lot better on your social than you have been in the past, Phil. I'm gonna go look at Marshall's real quick. My first tip for you would be to click on your profile photo and drag it down a little bit so people can see the faces. It's just drag it down just a little bit and you'll. Okay, love this. Love this.
If it ain't my kids, I don't care. And because of that, every once in a while, someone will try to question my manhood because I don't follow football or I don't know when basketball season starts. But these are the same guys.
I love this post right here. This is so true. Okay, you have a good mix in here. You have a good mix in here, Marshall, of what's working for you. I would say that if once we dial this in and we go, hey, let's work on grabbing an audience and bringing them in. I think you're struggling a little bit with engagement right now, and I think it's just because we don't have a strategy behind this. We're posting content with no strategy. And Marshall, which avatar did you pick?
So I took a call, so I missed. I feel like a chunk of what you're talking about with the avatars. You're talking about the different engagement opportunities. I had picked the bad credit one, is what I was originally talking about.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so the bad credit one, that'll be your avatar for building out that content. That'll be good, and you'll suck those in really quickly. Okay, let's see here. I think those are really kind of good. I think you guys are going to have a great result once you get to that point right there. If you could rebuild your last 5 posts, which you can starting today, let's look at what that flow is going to be, that call to action is going to be, and we're going to rebuild it now. So most buyers lose 2K on their trade. Here's why. Think bad credit means no chance? Wrong. DM me trade for the checklist. Want your own payment plan? Let's talk. So these are hook and CTA swipes, and I can send you a list of these so that you have them, and I'll have Lacey send them out to you some way. Pro tips for posting. Post the same time daily, morning, early evening. It's best if you just get it away. That's why we send you guys those text prompts in the morning so that you'll get that out of the way and you can go on with your day, right? So I would say do them in the morning, and that would be like when people consume social media before they go to work, at about 10 o'clock on their break, at lunchtime, and then between like 5:30 and 6:30 at night. And if you watch your habits, you probably do the same thing. If you make a video, use subtitles, emojis, and strong thumbnails, right? So if you go make that video that I told you to, when you load it into Facebook Reels, be sure and click the button that you want to add captions inside of the app. Okay. Are you listening to me or are you talking to somebody else? Okay. You're muted, sir. You need to learn sign language, sir.
I'm listening to you. I will click the button to add captions.
Okay. So do that when you make the video because they may be watching your video while they can't listen to it, but they could see it while it was going. And so adding captions is so important because like yesterday I was on a plane and my AirPods were dead and I wanted to watch a video, but I couldn't because I was on a plane. But I just turned my noise down on my phone all the way and I just read the subtitles that went through that. So that's a hack. So make sure that you do that. Okay, stories plus reels equal daily exposure. So every post, add a purpose-driven call to action. Don't just post to post. Tell them what you want them to do. I noticed like on your ice cream post that you put on there, you just answered cone for me or something like that, right? And so you could go drop me your answer below. Mine is in the first.
Okay.
That would probably work better for you. Okay. So final word is if they're not DMing you by day 5, you didn't go hard enough. So repeat your post, closers execute on the sequence. It really is, if you think it's really strong, like when you're posting it and you're like, oh, this seems really in their face. Those are the people you're sucking into your universe. You need to have them and you need to be in their face to suck them in. So don't be all pussyfooting around it. Make sure that first hook that you're giving them, that pain point that you're giving them is strong. You need that strong pain point for them. So the call to action is what's going to land the sale. When you get that call to action, when you're on day 5 and you do that video or you do that strong post that says, I'm the guy. Even if it's just a picture that says, has you pointing at your face and go, I'm the guy. I'm the guy that helped 20 people last month drive a nicer, newer car. I'm the guy that helped 5 people with scores below a 500 drive home in a newer car last month. I'm the guy that you want to talk to. DM me right now. DM the word I need help or DM me, yes, DM me, whatever. Make sure that you give them that hard call to action on day 5 and then reports back on every time that you guys work through an avatar. Did it work for you? How did it work for you? And then save your sequences for me so I can see them, because I want to be able to see them and use them for case studies for anybody else who's going to be doing this. Anything else you guys want to talk about? What's working for you guys and what you're struggling with right now? Phil, how many did you get out last month?
21.
21. Marshall?
18.
18. Who else wants to pop their numbers out? I want to know how they did in July.
I'm an unusual one. I'm not a car guy. I'm an accessory guy. So
Ooh,
I'm learning.
interesting. Interesting. So you sell accessories?
Yeah, we do automotive accessories for car dealerships and everything. So I'm trying to
Aftermarket or OEM?
yeah, everything aftermarket. We do spray and bed liners, window tinting, remote starts, lifts, wheels, tires, graphics. We do the whole kit and caboodle.
So thinking about what your pain point would be different, right? So like, did you come up with some pain points for yourself?
I want to keep working on it more, but I was kind of thinking mine is a new customer. Mine's a new customer that just purchased a vehicle. So my pain points are vanity. I've got sun glaring in the front of it, or I'm worried about my car's going to get rock chipped, as I'm driving down the road. So I need paint protection film, or hey, the stereo sucks in my vehicle. I need it upgraded so I can impress all my friends. So my pain points are way different.
Well, it could be even something as simple as like, yeah, you got the car of your dreams, but did it come with all of the things that you really wanted?
Good point.
So and then you can walk down what that funnel looks like from there to get to day 5. And like for myself, like I'll just use myself an example, right? So I just bought a 2014 FJ Cruiser. They're freaking impossible to find.
Mm-hmm.
Under 100,000 miles, a full leather interior, which I'd never seen one with leather before. But you know what it doesn't have?
Heated seats.
It does have heated seats, but I don't have
Oh.
Apple CarPlay.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, I hate that I don't have Apple CarPlay because I just came out of a Jeep 4xe and I'm like, crap. And so those things, that's a pain point for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're used to technology and maybe you took a downgrade in your latest vehicle technology wise, what are those upgrades? And I think the bed liners are probably huge because what a great add-on to any vehicle. And I know that like after COVID, like were you guys like, I don't know if you've been in the market long in the
Yes.
market, but you guys couldn't even get that stuff. There was like a waiting list for the spray in.
We were fortunate that we had a product line that didn't run out. So we
Wow.
capitalized all the way through COVID.
I'm sure you did. I had a couple of clients that was their business, and they were like they just had a waiting list of people that wanted it once it finally came in. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. This will also be available in Lacey where?
For now, I'm going to upload the last training and this training into the group.
Okay.
And then after that, I'll get the courses all set up to everybody can access all of them in one place.
Okay, and I'm going to also, and I can create it in a PDF and load it into the Facebook group as well. But I'm going to create some avatars out there for you guys too, for you to be able to follow along and use. And don't ignore this. This is so powerful. I don't know if you noticed when I was showing you Austin Armstrong's Facebook profile that he has like 1.9 million followers. And he literally does this probably 6 times a week. He does this type of posting. And you know what he'll do is he'll go back 2 weeks from now and he'll repost that thing again and it will get just as many views and just as many engagement as it did whenever he posted it this week. And so don't be like, oh, I already talked about that. Facebook is not pushing your content out to everybody. It's only pushing it out to a small audience. So you may run this whole game this month, run this game again next month. Recycle it, just change the words a little bit, and then redo this game again. And if you're wanting to bring in a different avatar next month, then you're going to work through what those processes are there. But I will get you guys a PDF put into the Facebook group so that you have those avatars, the pain points, and like what does the rest of that look like? What does the solve look like as well? And call to action at the end. Okay. All right, guys, go kill it today. It's August 12th. You got more than a half a month to go. Slay August. Don't let anybody tell you that people don't buy cars in August, because they do. They don't have a season. They buy whenever they need a vehicle. So draw them in, create your own environment, create your own economy. By posting like this, you guys will be creating your own economy and bringing those people in this 5-day funnel. And I bet you guys are going to see better results than anybody else on your team who did not get into this training, because they're big turds. That's all I got. Love to all. Go kill it today. And I'm going to be installing a new Social Grenade store tomorrow in South Carolina. So I'll try to go live from there with some of those salespeople. Bye, guys.